Clip of the day.
But I'm not sure. First of all, I don't think it's true.
Well, this could be milieu related.
Possibly.
And not really anything. Because, I don't know that their talking points are derivatives. You hang around the same people. There's a group down in Texas.
Let's
meet with them.
Let's listen.
Anyway, you hang around the same people, and the talking points emerge.
And I think a lot of them emerge from this CVE, the Countering Violent Extremism Woodstock that was thrown together. Here is Oren Siegel, I guess, from the Anti-Defamation League's Extremism Center, speaking. I had to go back and really, because this thing was thrown together hastily. Well,
that's an interesting point, because people have all noted this, but nobody has come up with any explanation for the hasty throw together.
Well, what I'm finding is there's a lot of this, and talk about some facts that are just being thrown out there.
In the Jewish community, we the concept of violent extremism is not abstract. It's very real. And so at ADL, domestically but also internationally, when we're trying to mitigate this threat of violent extremism, we don't have the luxury, frankly, to focus on one extremist movement over another. And so, this discussion today and in the coming days and for a while, it's really imperative for us, based on our research, based on the trends that we're seeing, and frankly, based on the threat not just to the Jewish community, but to the entire American community. Violent extremism is not a Muslim community problem. It's an American problem. It's also a problem that's international. That's where ADL steps in because of our research. And so if we take, for example, the threat of white supremacists and right-wing extremists, and look at the amount of murders in this country in the past, say, 10 years, 95% of murders against Americans, and that includes law enforcement, have been caused at the hands of right-wing extremists.
Okay, then.
Brother.
Okay, then. Let me just get this right.
95% of all murders in the United States, he threw that out there?
Including against law enforcement, right-wing extremists. Mm-hmm.
Holy mackerel.
This is
he got away with that?
Oh, yeah. I know, that's crazy.
Most murders are domestic violent murders. I mean, people killing their spouse or black-on-black murders and random murders.
Yeah.
95% of all murders in the United States are caused by right-wing extremists.
Want to hear it again?
Holy, I can't believe this guy got away with saying that, and nobody, except you, called him out on this. I didn't hear that, by the way.
Well, he's this is the Anti-Defamation League's Extremism Center, the guy in charge of the Extremism Center. But if you have that kind of bias...
Oh, yeah.
Isn't the whole...
You're useless.
It's kind of weird when he's actually in the Anti-Defamation League, yet he's defaming other people. Okay.
Threat of white supremacists and right-wing extremists. And look at the amount of murders in this country in the past, say, 10 years. 95% of murders against Americans, and that includes law enforcement, have been caused at the hands of right-wing extremists.
Caused at the hands of. It's even better than that. Caused at the hands of right-wing extremists.
We have to remember that fact when we're coming up with strategies.
Remember that fact, people. Wow.
Remember that fact.
Yeah.
So you make up some fact and tell people to remember it when we come up with strategies. And so the real problem here is this is why he blamed the whole thing. If you go back to the beginning of the clip, he says, this is not a problem with one group. Right. This is a problem with America. The United States is causing this problem.
Right-wing extremists.
It's right-wing extremists. And
in France.
That's bunched in with white supremacists. So you have the associative aspect to it. So you're thinking, Whitey.
Yeah. As Susan Rice luckily has the answer. The twerp.
That is I have to stop and give you a clip of the day for that. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you should apologize because it was. I agree. It was.
Clip of the day.
I mean, there were sometimes you don't get clip of the day because I'm like knocked on my ass by something like that.
And you pull this right off C-SPAN. You know, it's televised. It's real.